morning, everyone. This is Liel here from Friendly Technologies. I am Friendly's marketing lead, and with me here today, Zvi Skapinger. He is Friendly's VP of Product Development. He has recently joined Friendly Technologies and brings vast experience of product management with him. Today, we wanted to talk about Friendly's TR-069 device management, its new features, and the things that we have recently implemented. So, Tzvi, maybe you can skip the slide. We can start. Before we begin, I just wanted to wish everyone healthy. I just wanted to wish everyone healthy working and healthy life. And it's not an easy time currently. Hoping that everybody is managing and keeping sane in this very strange time. Okay, so Friendly Technologies at a glance. Friendly Technologies is a software solution developer. We have been around for quite some time. We are focused only on device management since 2006, and since that time we're serving carrier and CSP market. Our solutions are very widely installed globally by various carriers and service providers. We are a member of Broadband Forum and Open Mobile Alliance, and we have various offices worldwide. So can we skip the slide, please? We have evolved from the telecommunication product offering, with us traditionally offering telecom solutions such as device management and Wi-Fi optimization, QE monitoring. In the recent couple of years, we have developed a strong offering as well for IoT and smart home market. They already started providing IoT solutions for various verticals such as utilities and smart energy and healthcare and smart home to various IoT service providers. Next slide. Here you can see some of our customers, and see the majority of our customers is still carriers and service providers, and slowly IoT service providers are joining the list of our logos, and we are constantly growing and signing on more customers, and actually had an amazing couple of years, have grown quite substantially, and together with the growth comes the expansion of our offering and expansion of the features of our product and the bettering of the features. And this is something that we are going to cover today in this webinar. Next slide. So some of the carrier success stories that we're extremely proud of. Of course, we have many more other success stories that we're proud of, but there's a very big major deployment. One of the largest deployments that we have is Reliance Jio in India, and of course, Beeline in Russia, where we offer quite a few products, Basic Israel, T-Com Romania, and Airtel. And there are many others. Next slide. Okay, so now I'm going to shift back. I'm going to give the presentation back to Tzvi. He's going to cover TR-069 device management and talk about our new offering for TR-369 user services platform. Enjoy, everyone, and have a good day.
Thank you, Liel. Hi, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us today for this session. It's quite of a long session, so we have a lot of slides to cover. I just want to skip just a bit back to discuss a bit more about our line of products. So I just want to share with you our line of products and what we at Friendly Technologies are focused right about. So we are focused on the following products. As you can see, we are doing device management, we are doing IoT, we are strongly involved within the smart home solutions and also for IoT embedded clients. Device management, data collection and analytics, it's something which we are finding as crucial for our customers. So this is why we have decided that this would be a separated line of products for our company, and we are offering advanced monitoring and analyzing tools for data, VoIP, and also other services like IPTV and so on. We found that this is a crucial issue for also Wi-Fi optimization is a very crucial issue for most of our customers because it's a major task that CSPs are spending a great deal of effort and manpower to overcome. So we offer in this domain also self-support tools for end customers and also customer support related tools. So in the growing market, IoT device management is a very rapidly growing market. It expands rapidly, and one of our key benefits is that CSPs and telcos can offer a single point of device management for all their services, for all their connected devices. Many of us are actually looking at smart home as one vertical or a subset of IoT, and this is why it is very crucial and a very beneficial point, having the same platform utilized for also IoT offering device management and the traditional broadband access. We are supporting a variety of standards and also some proprietary protocols if needed. Specifically for the smart home solution, we offer a solution to manage and monitor millions of households without being tied up to a certain cloud or a device manufacturer, which means that devices can be using any protocol that there is available on the market, Wi-Fi, Zigbee, Z-Wave, Bluetooth if you have it, and so on. So you can actually integrate different devices on the same platform and offer a centralized management. And this additional achievement that we have with the friendly platform is that we are offering also tools for customer support, and we will take a look at them a bit later on. I will show you a bit more on the tools for customer support, for troubleshooting events and problems, and also problem resolution. Another important line of products that we have identified is the embedded side. We are offering high-end and standardized clients for lightweight M2M, OMA, MQTT, TR-069, and also USP. This is a very also growing market, and it mostly involves less telcos, but more device manufacturers, OEMs and ODMs as well. So this is just to clarify a bit more the line of products that we have identified and we are using and offering today within Friendly Technologies. If you have any questions, please write them down and we will try to address them during the presentation. And if not, we will be happy to answer them later on. So having said that, I will go back and do a very quick introduction to TR-069 and also the upcoming USP. So let's start. Some history about TR-069. In the early 2000s, there was a rapid expansion of broadband gateways. Gateways started to emerge, and that led to a need in managing those gateways. We needed to deploy, onboard, and manage the broadband gateways, and that was quite of a task. For those of you who've been involved with the market for quite a long time, you may remember that it required some truck rolls. Sometimes you needed also having to use like CD-ROMs to upload information to the devices and so on. So ISP were actually looking continuously for a solution to give them a life cycle management, also to be able to have a maintenance and monitoring and provision new services. So this led to the emerge of TR-069, roughly, if I remember correctly, around 2002 and so on. So in 2006, TR-069 expanded to manage more interfaces and more devices. It was expanded for set-top boxes, for VoIP devices, for Wi-Fi, and much more. The additional growth that led TR-069 was the introduction of cable and other system operators, which incorporated TR-069 for management of advanced gateways, Wi-Fi, using also device 2 data model that was introduced at that time, and so on. So moving on, we saw roughly around 2015, we can say that there was some kind of an explosion of new technologies and challenges for both networking and consumer electronics. We saw an emerging market, IoT, Wi-Fi, and currently we're also referring to Wi-Fi mesh. All those growing markets are also have a growing desire for end user control. So this actually brings us to the next step of evolution. It brings us to USP. So why do we need user service platform? We know that there is growing an explosion of managed devices. There are new services coming all the time. So we are looking at an order of magnitude more devices in the connected home, all of which need to be remotely controlled and managed in real time also. This is actually using a mechanism that you can scale up. This means that we need to build something else. If it is inside your house, we want an app also to manage it. Like, in Wi-Fi, In smart home, you want to manage your Wi-Fi device, you want to set a configuration, you want to manage your smart home using your app, and also additional home appliances. So we want more control capabilities. We want more interaction with third parties. Like I mentioned before, with our smart home devices, with our TV, with our different electronic appliances. So we want the apps to work from everywhere also. We also need to get relevant information from the different devices or sensors. We need telemetry. All of this require a more robust, light, and secure way to communicate. So we are also aware that we need to obtain our security policy. We are constantly threatened by hackers, and they are more ready to take advantages of every attack vector to steal vital personal information. So our solution needs to be more secure than ever so we can protect everyone's privacy. This is where USP comes in play. So it was designed to deliver all of that. So some basic comparison between TR-69 and USP. USP is much more flexible. We can see that message transfer part is actually agnostic for USP. USP is more flexible, it is more scalable, it is more standardized, and much more secure, as I mentioned before. TR-69 is bound to HTTP. In the design of USP, the forum ensured that the protocol will be cleanly layered so that transport of USP could be accomplished over any transport and we can see here also that it utilizes CoAP, STOMP, WebSockets, and so on. And also we can use a MQTT for the transport layer as well. The data encoding is also being changed from TR-69 to USP. Rather than sending XML documents over HTTP, USP makes the use of protocol buffers to encode messages in transport. Protocol buffers are encoding is binary, so this ends up in saving significant space. Also, USP has introduced a multi-controller architecture. This means that TR-69 was designed for a one-to-one relationship between the CP and the ACS. USP actually opened the door for a much more flexible environment. USP agent can be controlled by multiple controllers within the service provider domain. So, and in terms of security, we have already talked about how important it is to maintain secured environment for our connected home devices. So we already understand the great need of that. And USP has also introduced some more control security layers. It also introduced DTLS for doing TLS over UDP and so on. And also an application layer security, which you can see much more within the USP spec. So Friendly Technologies offers different models and different features for both TR-69 and USP, and we will take this time to go through the different models and the main features that we are offering with the Friendly Technologies device management platform. So our basic architecture means that we can manage any device. You can see that we have routers, we have modems, cable modems, we have set-top boxes and everything, and any broadband access device that you have. But it's not just managing the devices. We also want to manage what is behind the devices, like IP phones, set-top boxes if they are sitting behind a router, and we will deal with it later on by introducing the STANA or XMPP solutions that TR-69 has introduced. So in terms of the connected devices, we have also smart home gateways, mobile devices, and the IoT market. In terms that Friendly Technologies offers a unique solution to manage all of the connected devices that you have, regardless of the transportation layer or the network that you are utilizing. We have introduced a multi-protocol engine with a smart layer technology. We will also have a deeper look inside it later on, which means that you can connect any device and we will do the data model normalization and we will show you all the relevant information coming from the device, which means that it is very easy to manage new devices. You don't need to have a very in-depth skill with TR-69. You just need to connect the device. Our system will learn the data model and it will show it to you in a readable way, so you can do and actually manage the device on a later phase and provision and also add services. So We are offering, with our solution, we are offering several tools that for you to use and manage the entire platform. First one is actually the admin portal. This is the main console of managing the system, and we will show it in a few seconds. We are also supporting a customer support portal, which means that we understand that the tools that you need to manage the devices are not just for the system administrators. You need also for customer support, as they are the first line of troubleshooting events coming from end users. So we are offering a complete set of customer support tools to troubleshoot and also to provision the end devices. We are also offering a provisioning portal that you can use in order to mass provision a large quantity of devices, and also a self-support portal for the end user to have some task that he can perform by his own, which means that he doesn't need to contact for any issue or for any minor problem that he has with his device to the customer support. He can do some self-support actions also in troubleshooting and finding the root cause and trying to resolve. We will show it later on, some of the tools that we are offering for the end customer as well. I've spoken before that regarding data analytics and quality of experience monitoring. This is also a great deal of, we believe that this brings major advantage to our customers, as you can monitor and get analytics deriving directly from the device and not relying on the network to send you information on the quality of the data that is being transferred, but actually getting some information from the device. TR-069 also offers you the ability to trigger events from devices, which means that you can gather events, you can set KPIs, you can define thresholds that you would like to monitor, and upon those thresholds to create actions or events and send them to third party or also to your management team as well. So we are an open platform, which means that we are supporting northbound interfaces and APIs to all the ecosystem that you have within the company, like CRM, like NOC, and so on. We will touch it also in a while. Another important tool that we are offering is also a cybersecurity solution that can be integrated on top of friendly technologies. We can discuss it. If you have any, if you would like to have any additional information for that, please contact us and we will be gladly to discuss this with you also. In order to maintain a full data analytics, we are offering a BI solution. We will show we are doing that with a third-party company that is being integrated with our solution, and we will show it in a minute. So this is the main architecture for friendly technologies, and we will dive on a bit more into each of the components and the models that we are offering. Before that, a quick word on the technology stack that Friendly uses. We are utilizing different technologies for the infrastructure and the platform. We are running different databases according to customer needs and also what customer is actually utilizing today. It could be MySQL, Oracle, MariaDB, and so on. We are running on Linux, and also the engines that we are offering are running on are developed on Java and .NET Core for cross-platform UIs. And our application side utilizes and offers different connections like REST API, Kafka, and so on. So we are very flexible, and we are keeping the edge also with our development, and we are developing and introducing new technologies all the time. So our device management models, we have discussed them a bit in high level. We will be drilling down a bit to each model. We are offering a multi-protocol ACS engine, which means that this is, as I mentioned before, it's a unified device management platform. You can utilize it to manage your TR-069, USP, IoT, and smart home. This is a unique solution that Friendly Technologies offer, and it has also been deployed rapidly. And as Liel mentioned before that, we have customers that have been working with us for the broadband access and then evolved to IoT, and right now we're talking about also having on the same platform also a smart home solution. So this is a unique solution which gives you a full management capability of all connected devices on the network. We have discussed a bit on all of these items, so I will jump ahead. The main features for our device management platform is one of those is that we are a carrier class, we are robust, and we are installed in over, I think it's not quite the number, I think it's roughly more 300 carriers, but it's fine. As I mentioned, it's a multi-protocol layer, and we have also an automatic problem resolution feature that I will show you in the next slides as well. Smart layer technology means that the system is an adaptive one. We are learning the end device without the need for complex and costly professional services. Once you connect a device, the system will map the data model deriving from the device in a friendly and readable way. So you can use this and provision and maintain a template for device bootstrap and provisioning. This is a very strong tool for newcomers and for companies that do not have enough or sufficient information about the end device, and they do not wish to have a very intensive professional services from the device manufacturer as well. We've discussed about Wi-Fi optimization, and we will also show it in the next slide as well, how you can troubleshoot and repair Wi-Fi issues. We'll discuss a bit about zero-touch provisioning. One of the most important things within device management is how you provision the device and how much time you need to spend to provision a new device. With our smart layer technology, this is actually being reduced dramatically. So we will also show it in a later slide. We have discussed a bit about quality of experience monitoring and event triggering. We will show you the usage of how to maintain campaigns and group updates. When we are discussing about managing devices, devices are in millions. We have very large deployments for over 40 million end devices that we need to manage and provision all the time. So you need to maintain a policy for group updates. You want to push firmware updates to devices. You want to update different parameters which are changing on your network side, and we will show you how you can do that. A bit more of the features that we are offering. So we are offering also residential and enterprise use cases. We can also have a file-based device management for different scenarios. It was introduced earlier for a VoIP endphone, so they were using a file-based device management if they are not supporting the TR-069. Backup and restore is a main feature because you want to replace sometimes the device and you need to backup it before you are doing any change within the device itself, and then you would like also to restore all the data that you have pre-configured for the same device. Our platform is actually a multi-tenancy and a multi-hierarchy, which means that you can offer it for maybe system integrators that you are working with, that they can also share and sell on the service that you are offering for your end customers. IPv6 and IPv4 and 6 are actually it's a non-issue. It's supported across-wide the platform. As I mentioned before, we have various types of APIs, and a very important part is that you can have the platform UIs customized per your needs, which means that you can set your logo and whatever and the skin set or whatever you would like the UI to look, and set it for your customization. Also, if you are using LDAP or ADSI for user authentication, we are fully supporting of that. We can also share some reports about what is about devices, about what's the status of different models with our platform, and we will show this also in a minute. So we have discussed that friendly is a very vital part of the system, but we do understand that our device management platform has to integrate with the other components within your company, so we need to be a part of your ecosystem. Therefore, we offer different interfaces for integration. You can integrate your CRM with our platform in order to have to troubleshoot or open ticket or change device settings. We can send alerts to your NOC for monitoring purpose. We can also send the data deriving from the devices to an external database to your warehouse for you to create your own business intelligence upon them. As I mentioned before, the single sign-on for user authentication, for LDAP or ADSI, different diagnostics, and also we can send you notifications using SMS or emails and so on. So we have a lot of experience integrating our platform with different customers with different needs. So just let us know what you need. The device management platform is actually a mission critical platform, which means that it should work in any case. Therefore, we offer different types of resiliency and redundancy. You can implement the system in high availability with data replication between sides, which will be seamlessly to the end customer in case of a critical event. You can spread installation between the active and the DR side. So we are offering a great deal of flexibility in terms of how to maintain a scalable and a high available solution. I will not go in depth of the solution, but if you will need that, we will be happy to show it to you later on. So a word about our deployment options. Friendly Technologies, we are a cloud or a vendor agnostic solution, which means that we can be deployed on any cloud of your choice. If it's a public or a private cloud, you can deploy our solution on-prem on any hardware that you have today, or you can actually get a hybrid solution between some parts will be on cloud basis and some parts will be on-prem according to what you have currently with your company today. Another offer is to give you a device management as a service, which means that you could have fully SaaS service. And for more information, please contact our sales representatives for that. So we've discussed a bit earlier about how to provision devices and what happens if a device is actually sitting behind a gateway, behind NAT. So one of the most important things for the CSP is how to provision a gateway or even more devices that are sitting behind the gateway itself. As we can see in our example here, we have a router and we have also a VoIP phone or a setup box, which actually is behind the router. One main principle of CPE1 management protocol, which is TR-069, is that CPE endpoint is always the one to initiate a connection to the ACS. However, an ACS can use a TR-069 connection request feature to stimulate a CPE to begin a session. This action is often used when the ACS must contact the CPE immediately, such as when configuring the device for a new service, after it has already been bootstrapped by the system. When TR-069 was originally designed, it focused on device acting as gateways. We commonly referred that to as home gateways because these devices were directly connected to the internet. They had an address that we could actually connect to. So it was easy to deliver TR-069 connection request to the device by having the device expose an accessible URL for the ACS. However, devices that sat behind the gateway, that was likely using a network address translation, or what we refer to as NAT, could not simply expose a direct addressable URL. So without the CPE setting up a complex port mapping, it was impossible. So since this was not a very desirable situation, TR-069 specified a way to use session transversal utility for NAT, or what we refer to as STAN. STAN protocol allows the device to accept HTTP request through the gateway. STAN However, it's not the very best solution as it utilizes UDP, and the ACS cannot guarantee that its connection request has arrived. So the Broadband Forum developers actually looked for a messaging solution using the XMPP. XMPP is Extensible Messaging and Presence Protocol. This allows connection requests to occur. So this was actually introduced by the Broadband Forum in Amendment 5. Currently we have also Amendment 6 coming. This is also available for us out of the box as well. The ACS makes a connection to an XMPP server and configures the CPE via TR-069. In order for us to use this, what we need to set is an XMPP server for its connection request. Then the CPE establishes secure connection to the agreed XMPP server. From then on, the ACS can communicate a connection request via the XMPP server to the Jabber ID of the CPE actually. This is also how you can use our device management platform in order to also have a provision of devices sitting behind a router, behind NAT. So zero-touch provisioning, some use cases for zero-touch provisioning, when you're actually in need of installing a new CPE, you need to associate a CPE to a user. So you need to automate this configuration unless you will be doing that manually. So you need some kind of an automation device. If you know the device, which means that the automated provisioning of a CPE that is already, you have a user associated to it, or you have an unknown device, which means the user is unknown. So we also offer self-installation of devices behind a router, as I mentioned before, and we showed the way that you can use STUN or XMPP in order to go through that. We have a reprovisioning of devices if the device has performed a factory reset. You need an automatic configuration of the connectivity and the user settings, and this is actually all being done automatically without the use of a technician or an administrator that should execute this provisioning. If you need to replace a CPE, let's say something happened to the CPE and you sent a new device and you want to replace it. So you don't want a technician to arrive on site. You can do that remotely. You can ship the CPE and automatically transfer the CPE configuration from the old one to the new one. You can also customize provision scenarios. You can easily generate any customized scenario according to your business needs. So you can contact us for that purpose, and we will happily show you how to do that. So we're moving to forward to the admin portal. As I mentioned, this is one of our key components and modules for the device management platform. It's being used by administrators to configure the devices, to make bulk operations, also to perform backup and restore, to replace device, to perform the firmware management process. You want to upload files in order to change and to uphold the latest firmware for devices. You can use the admin portal for statistics, for gathering information. You trigger the events that we've discussed about them previously. We will show it also in later slides. We have an inventory and management that can be reports that can be done by the tenant as we are supporting multi-tenancy. I will just skip some of this because I want to show you a bit more of the presentation, and time is of essence with us, so we have not very much of time left. So I will try to skip a bit rapidly on the next slides to show you some more information about our device management platform. I've touched a bit about the campaign management. When you have, let's say, 10 or 1 million devices on your network, you need to update those devices. You want to send them some information like firmware update or something like that. So you need to have a reliable solution that will send all the information to the devices. You cannot send information to, let's say, 1 million devices at the same time, because it will cause also some headache for the network team as well, because you are actually setting a lot of information on the network. So you want a campaign management solution. You want to distribute it evenly on through the day. You want to have it sent to, or maybe you have specific devices that you want to do some maintenance upon them, or just to update those specific devices. So this is why we are offering a bulk group update. It's actually gives you an idea how to update millions of devices, or with, as I mentioned, a new firmware, how to change or change with service or any configuration parameter that you would like to do for a group of devices. So it's not enough just to have this shipped and, to say, okay, so I've done a campaign, I've set a campaign for a group of devices, but what's the status of it? Please let me know how many are completed, how many are pending, how many devices were offline. So I will need to resend them the information once again. How many failed? What's the reason that they failed? So I could troubleshoot it and see what happened to the update that I've sent to those devices. So this is a very powerful tool for you to use in order to maintain a very solid and workable environment for you. So we discussed a bit about events and fault management. Our system enables you to create events and alarms policy for that. Those events can be triggered by we can send a trigger to the device itself to send us events if the device has a change in a specific parameter, let's say like maybe RSSI. If the RSSI has been changed, please notify and send us the information, and we can set an action upon that event or an action upon an alarm, like send the SNMP trap to another system, send the information to your NOC, tell him that, look, there is some kind of a problem coming from a device, a group of devices, or an area. The notification can be shared by email, SMS, or an on-screen, and you can have also a proactive action approach, and I do hope that we will have enough time to cover this, so I will be running a bit faster here. Just to show you the call center portal, which means that we recognize that having a device management platform, you need to have also tools for your contact center to maintain a workable environment. You need to give them tools so they could troubleshoot. They could automatically detect and maybe repair also issues which are coming from the device itself. And Wi-Fi, I want to go into it, and so let us jump ahead. Just to a quick view of how a CSR, customer support portal dashboard looks like. This is a fully customized dashboard. You can choose what to display, which cube you would like to use, and also you can have the tools that you can perform, which means that your customer support representative can do a lot of maintenance remotely. Not every operation needs a technician on site, on-prem, and you can do that actually remotely. You can set different parameters on the device. You can get information coming from the device, the status of the device. We will show you in the next slides as well how Wi-Fi optimization is working. So this is a very powerful tool for customer support in order to maintain a very stable environment for them to use, and also to have a very quick resolution of problems that are being raised by the end customers. Okay, so Wi-Fi problem resolution. Most of the service providers actually need to dispatch a technician to customer premises in order to resolve this complaint. The complaint is my internet is too slow, and most of customers do not know how to operate or how to change settings on their devices, which means that we need to assist, we need to help them do that. However, if you could have done the same action remotely, this would be of a great benefit in terms of response and the resolution time. You will not need a truck roll for every complaint. This means that more efficiency with your support center, and reducing the total cost of dispatching technicians. We are actually facing this issue today when we are constrained at home. We are all in our company where most of us are working from home due to this time. And we are constrained to our homes with minimal ability to dispatch technicians right now to customers. Therefore, we must have a working and trustworthy solution to resolve problems remotely. So if we could interact with the device and we can set commands and we can set an action upon an event and we can give you tools to manage those devices remotely, this is not just constrained to Wi-Fi. Take a larger view of this in terms of, and especially in these days, if the device is for hospital at home, let's say, and you want to manage the device and you want to get information from different sensors. So this is also a part that we can uphold using a unified device management platform. So a bit more about how Wi-Fi problem resolution works. You can actually check channels which are occupied in the neighboring map that you have, which neighbors and on which channels are they're broadcasting. And in that way, you can set the device to select the free and open channel and also switch between channels. You can set it automatically or you can have it done by the customer support center as well. This tool can actually be utilized for other remote assistance and troubleshooting, as I mentioned before that. I think time is of an essence with us. So let me see if I can run really quickly through some slides here to show you a bit more of our platform. Okay, so we talked a bit about the proactive support, automatic problem resolution. The concept of proactive support is that we need to detect the problem, we need to diagnose it, and we need to offer a solution. This is exactly what our automatic problem resolution model can offer. Let's say that you have a reduced signal strength with your device. We can run a diagnostic tool on the device and take action upon that. We can detect a change with RSSI, let's say, with a different group of devices coming from the same network area. This means that we can indicate on a wider problem if you have a, let's say, problem with some of the radio systems of that network. Action upon event is something very crucial for different service providers. The ACS can trigger the device to report an event on a periodic time. This is something which is supported by TR-069, meaning that we can set an action upon the recipient of the event. Let's say like send the SNMP trap to the NOC. We can run some executable or we can change configuration on the CPE. Let's say we can reprovision the CPE if a parameter was changed. The exact use case can be set per parameter or as a threshold itself. Let's go quickly on self-care approach. Self-care is actually reduces dramatically the customer support center engagement with different events. Like we mentioned before, Wi-Fi resolution, or actually I lost connectivity to the internet, I need to reset my password, or I need to change some Wi-Fi settings. This can be achieved manually by the end customer. So for that purpose, we can offer Friendly Connect mobile application. The customer can set different parameters that are available by the application. He can also do some troubleshoot of the Wi-Fi. We have an example here for Wi-Fi signal quality as well. So this is something that the customer can do by his own. This reduces greatly the amount of calls that you are getting for your customer support center as well. Okay, so if you are still all with us, we can have another, because the time has ended, but we can have actually additional more 10 minutes if you can bear with us a bit more. So thank you for your time. Self-support portal. We have introduced also not just Friendly Connect, but also a self-support portal that the customer can access, and it is very crucial that the customer can access just his own device. He cannot access any other devices on the network. It uses a secure connection, so the customer can use just his own settings. He can change also parameters as he was doing with the application with Friendly Connect. He could use that and set different parameters using the self-support portal. This will also reduce a great deal of the calls coming to your contact center as well. The customer can run different tools for like speed test. He can do a backup and restore for the device itself, or he can actually do the reboot. And the customer doesn't need to be a technician for that because it is all managed in a very friendly way and accessible for the end customer as well. It can also run an automatic problem resolution scenario, which is a pre-configured scenario that we can uphold within with the device. He can run the scenario. Let's say if he has a low memory and you want to clear the memory, and we can set an action to clear the memory or to reset the device, which will cause the memory to cache to be cleared as well. A few words about data collection and analytics. We have a lot of devices on the network, which means that we need to gather the information from across the devices on the network. We need to analyze that information. And this should be done by using a user profile or any dynamic group, and also according to threshold that we want to set for those groups as well. And then we need to react. We need to create something. We need to tell the system, okay, send us a notification. If you detect a service degradation, please let us know about that. Which means that we are turning data into knowledge. We can create reports and dashboards to support your operational needs. And this is very important for when you are actually monitoring and provisioning millions of devices, or even hundreds or thousands. It's irrelevant for the number, but as the number grows, the amount of data is actually growing exponentially. So this is very important tool for different service providers. So what you actually can monitor with Friendly QoE, you can monitor whatever the device is sending and what information is deriving directly from the device. You are not relying on the network or something in the network that will tell you, okay, or duplicate any information from you. The device is actually sending all the information, and you can also trigger events to the device to tell you if a parameter was changed or if something was missing, please let me know. You can monitor device status like processes and application, the performance of the device, CPU, memory, temperature, working temperature, and so on, the consumption of data or bandwidth that it being using. You can also monitor quality parameters for voice over IP, like MOS and so on, the network behavior if you are using an IPTV solution, and also a Wi-Fi related information like signal level and interfaces as we have shown before. You can also actually monitor any data or parameter that the device can send to the system, and we can trigger the device to inform us about a change in those parameters. So how does it work? The ACS actually triggers the device and asks the device, okay, please let us know if there was a change in some parameter. This is a periodic interval that each device can be set separately per group of devices, which means that we can set a group of devices to send information every 2 hours, and another group of devices to set information for every 30 minutes, and so on. All the information is being sent back to our quality of experience engine, and then we can do business intelligence also on that information with correlation to any other third-party interface that you have. We can have any additional information coming from your CRM in terms of information about the device, let's say tariff plan, and so on. So this is the main architecture, and as you can see, one of the main benefits of this architecture is that it resides along with the working ACS, which means that all the provisioning tasks are not reflected by the quality of experience task. This is very important tool. We need to distinguish that the provisioning of the PE is the main function of the device management platform, which means that we cannot sustain downtime for provisioning purposes. This is why we have actually excluded the QoE engine outside the ACS engine, as it is a separated model that runs beside the ACS engine and gets the information, which means that it doesn't reflect or compromise your provisioning process at any time. You can run queries on the CPE, and you can also run provisioning process regardless of the load that you have on the ACS engine. This is very important and very crucial for service providers to uphold. Let's try to go very quickly on this. So some of the features we have discussed about them. This is actually how our dashboard for our quality of experience looks like. You can set threshold for alerts. You can have defined KPIs and also very complex KPIs on the system. But unfortunately, I do not have enough time to go and show you everything. But you can see that you can set a condition for an event that occurs. You can set the KPI, and also you can set the condition if it goes and set any threshold between 50 and 70. If the CPU range is between 50 and 70%, so the level is minor. If it's higher than 70, so the level is going to be, let's say, a critical or major, whatever you decide that the level should be. Let's skip this one. Some additional screens about compound KPIs. You can set a KPI rule, which means that you can set different KPIs in one rule and have a very compound set. And for that compound KPI, you can set any threshold that you would like as well. Just a quick sample, but let's skip this. So we have introduced a third-party tool for the business intelligence that will be running on top of the data deriving from the device itself. We are using Panorama Necto BI for this purpose. It's a well-known company that has been around for many, many years. They are offering a centralized administration architecture. It's a centralized solution when you can actually, all the users can connect to a shared repository of the data using a web client. You do not need to install any other third-party applications. You have very flexible dashboards that you can set up and also set notifications on top of that. We have done the data collectors and ETL with our databases, and you can also have connectors to third-party systems within your company, like CRM, like any ticketing system, or any additional data or metadata that you would like to add to the reports as well. And actually, data visualization is very important tool within the BI. You have very flexible dashboards, and maybe we will have a next session showing just the data analytic model for Friendly. So just in very quick few words, because we need to wrap this session up, we're introducing our latest version 6 of the platform. The main key issue with the version 6 is not just the updated UI that we are offering, but it is a unified device management platform. It supports both broadband access, it supports IoT devices, and supports also your connected home. So this is the main feature and the main benefit that you have. We've discussed about action upon event, Wi-Fi optimization. Wi-Fi mesh is also supported on the system, and also supported for the end customer friendly connect application, which means that he can change information and set different settings for the Wi-Fi mesh configuration on his own. We are complying with FCC requirements for network speed and latency. This is very important for some of the US customers as well, and also EU customers. We are supporting containerized services as a part of the USP and a full multi-tenancy support. So we've done the USP, and I think that we can actually wrap things up. If you have any additional questions or things that you would like to ask, or any information that you would like, please let us know. Please share it with us, send us an email, and we will happily address those questions. So I know that this session was a lot of information in a very short period of time, and I really want to thank you all for joining this session and being for the entire session with us. Thank you very much. I know it's not easy these days, but thank you. And I do wish you very healthy and safe and very good day for you and your family as well. So keep safe, everybody, and thank you very much once again.